Wrestling Podcast. And his name is John Cena.
We can start whenever you guys feel like it.
I got it loaded now, so no more editing.
You've got the podcast loaded? The Google Sheets.
Yes.
The joys of Google Docs. All right, it's Friday, September 30th, 2016, and you're listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. I'm Brittany.
Oh, I'm Ray.
I'm Kyle.
Me.
Oh, I'm Ray.
Oh, okay.
Just in case you didn't know. We're three former coworkers who were hanging around in the break room of the office, and then one day we learned we had a shared love for professional wrestling. So we started this podcast, which gave us a space to shoot on all the aspects of our favorite pastime without all of the confused looks we often got from the rest of the office.
So this podcast is all about giving you consistent, bite-sized commentary in the world of wrestling, focused on primarily on WWE's ever-expanding show lineup, though we'll occasionally touch on the indies and international scene.
Every week, every damn week, we'll either recap the previous week's pay-per-view shows, Raw, SmackDown when we feel like it, potentially Talking Smack, which I've heard is a really good thing.
Sometimes it's pretty good.
Network specials, roundtable discussions, all kinds of cool stuff. But this week, we are going to recap the first Raw Network exclusive pay-per-view Clash of Champions, and a bit of the aftermath on Raw.
Yeah.
Immediate question, does this mean there's no more Night of Champions?
No, that's still happening in September. I think that's just a combined pay-per-view.
Yeah, so sometimes there's just a night of champions, and
sometimes it's a clash.
Sometimes they clash.
So it feels like Clash is more ominous than a night, right?
Yeah.
A night could be anything.
Yeah, it could just be
Tonight
like...
could be a good night, right?
Yeah.
It's
It
like
could
the
be
song
like a
says.
Is tonight a-
K-N-I-G-H-T.
Tonight is the night?
Well, not anymore.
Bright lights,
Yeah.
tech crowd.
No, they all got sent away.
Everybody
What's the
get
new
down?
song? I don't even remember.
It's feels very much like Attitude Era, but they're still
Yeah.
trying to keep in mind the fact that they have a family audience.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting.
So
I like it. I think it kind of plays in well with the new logo and
Yeah.
kind of what they're doing with
I
the
like-
roster.
I like their music, and then like SmackDown's is very like
Still
upbeat.
SmackDown.
It's still SmackDown
It's still
music. I'm like,
SmackDown.
God damn it, we're so close.
All right,
Yeah.
so pay-per-view opens with New Day,
Yep.
who are still ridiculous, and they're fighting Gallows and Anderson for the 500th time. New Day. So I was like expecting Gallows and Anderson to win this, and then the moment Michael Cole says, and they've been champions for 399 days, I'm
Yeah.
like, they're fucking winning this.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like-
wrestling brain fandom.
Yeah.
I thought the same exact thing, and then I was like,
Yeah.
shut up, brain. Just enjoy it for what it is.
I was like maybe hoping that like it's like you were gonna give me 400 and we stopped you. Like maybe, but no. I was like no.
They love them some round numbers.
Yeah.
If they were gonna lose, it would have been the next night.
Yeah.
which
Like
was
Nikki
also
Bella.
surprising.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, now the 501st time you fought
Yep.
Gallows and Anderson, you're still beating them.
So at this point, like, what are they like? What is the next thing? 'Cause,
Well, hold
like,
on, before we get to the serious part, that entrance, right? How violent you think the crowd got trying to catch those Booty-O boxes?
oh
'Cause
man,
that-
they
throwing those Booty-O boxes
Yeah.
out to the crowd. Like,
they used to throw just like bits of
A
the
couple of
cereal, which
Booty-Os,
was
yeah.
like
Yeah,
really.
they're throwing like whole boxes.
Yeah.
They should have the T-shirt, which would make them heavy and dangerous.
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah. Speaking
But-
of T-shirts, New Day continues to have the best merch.
Okay,
Yeah.
They have their
yeah.
new shirt that just says "Woo, woo, woo,"
Which basically kind of answers the question before you even ask it, right? Like, they're not going to stop because they're a fucking money train.
Right, but like. oh.
Money train.
Yeah, it's true.
Everyone loves a money train.
Yeah, it's true. And then like they haven't not been entertaining. Like it hasn't.
And they're not even close to flirting with an end. Like, we got closer to them flirting with an end with
Bray
with-
Wyatt.
Yeah, because of the whole, like, oh, Xavier's hearing the voices or whatever.
That was so good.
I think I'm trying to wonder how much Finn Balor getting hurt could have affected this storyline.
Oh, because of the
Yeah,
club.
right.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're right. That's a really
Because
good,
you've got AJ Styles on SmackDown,
yeah.
which everyone immediately thought you're going to combine the club in that fashion, but then Finn Balor came up to Raw and it was like, well, this could happen. Like eventually you have this guy turn heel,
Yeah.
like, or these guys turn face and then they all turn heel as a group later. But yeah, it's like perchance this was supposed to be different, and this is just one of those results of 6 months of content now needs to be rewritten. Anyway, New Day retains. Gallows and Anderson are guys that fight, that fart on an elevator.
Yeah.
I learned this from the pay-per-view, so really good. I actually really liked this match. I thought the pacing was really good.
Yeah,
It was overall pretty good.
yeah. Usually the New Day matches like are great for starting a pay-per-view, just because crowd's hype, everybody wants to see this, and then their matches like. Don't forget, these guys are really good athletes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, totally.
so
Had kind of a heel-ish ending, but since everyone loves them, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
people booed, I noticed.
yeah,
The other thing I
With
noticed...
Francesca?
Yeah.
Francesca.
The other thing I noticed was...
Francesca too, sorry.
The way that Xavier Woods holds the mic is just hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Like, I know
Like
it's not
very
new, but
Sandow?
like, yeah.
Yeah, it's very Sandow.
It's like he's holding a snifter and he's talking to us.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Alright, so then there's the CWC match.
Right. Which we're going to spend abbreviated amount of time on.
Yeah, it's like we kind of want to touch on it because our next episode is going to be the Cruiserweight Classic and kind of going over that in detail. But a couple interesting things. Obviously, TJ Perkins has now the greatest entrance rivaling
Holy
Bobby
shit,
Roode.
he comes out to Mega Man.
Yeah.
And he is Mega Man, and like that thing in the background is like playing into it.
Did
It's
you
really
see
good.
like the little character
Yeah,
select
yeah,
icon
player
where it had
select.
his name
Yes.
and Brian Kendrick, and
Yeah.
then I want to see his health meter like
Yeah.
update based on like his wins and losses.
Oh my
like,
god, yeah.
There's so many ways that they could totally fucking do this, and it's great.
That was
Um,
awesome. Right after his kind of forgettable attempt at talking on the microphone right before.
Well,
But-
I don't know. I thought he was pretty good.
I think he was
for
just too
having not-
nervous.
I mean, he's nervous.
Yeah.
It's his first time
Right.
really like on the show, for not having gone through the performance center and doing all the promotional training.
Yeah.
Like, he did good.
Yeah, it reminded me of like how you described Sasha as a face, though. Like didn't seem ready for that crowd being a face at that size, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those things seem to come up. Though it wasn't bad. It was just, he'll be good. It just
Yeah.
needs a little time.
It's fun. It's
Pretty
funny
big step
too,
up, right?
because we were. I was having a discussion online with some friends about some of the guys that they signed, and it's funny because some of them are having that hard time transitioning.
Yeah.
And it's like if you didn't, TJP has had time in New Japan.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have time in New Japan or CMLL or maybe ROH, like then your entire experience has been in small
Like,
arenas.
Full Sail
Like,
is probably the largest arena you've performed in front of.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, like CMLL, you're performing in a giant
Yeah.
arena, like in New Japan, ROH, like they're big arenas. If you're not used to that, and also talking on a mic to the camera, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
like
it's
WWE has that whole like you have a facing direction.
Yeah.
And you know this really well when you go to a show and you're on the side where the hard camera's pointing at, where
Yeah.
you just basically look at the back of wrestlers the whole time.
Yep.
When you go to a show live, like with one of the smaller independent promotions, that's not as big of a problem because you don't necessarily have the camera.
Yep.
Or they have the camera to sell DVDs later, but that's not the primary purpose. It's
Yeah.
to please the audience that's there. So it's this kind of whole mindset shift. Because the way wrestling works in WWE is very particular. Anyway, I thought this match was good. I don't think it was the best. I think Brian Kendrick did exactly what he needed to do in getting TJP over.
Yeah, and also we need a heel in cruiserweights because,
Yes.
mind you, like all
Yeah.
of them are great and we like them and we
But
all
they're all
love them.
happy and fun,
And
and
he
I
was
like it.
the only one, and we'll talk about it more when we talk about the tournament, but he was the only one who was he was clearly the heeliest of the heels in that tournament.
There was one more.
Tony Nese.
Tony Nese was definitely one, and then also the other Japanese wrestler, not Kota Ibushi, but the other one with the German.
Tozawa.
Tazawa.
Tazawa.
Tazawa was good.
Yeah, and you mean she's great.
Okay.
Proving
so
of the heel, do you want to do the rope thing or do you want to talk about my thing?
Yeah, I want to talk the rope thing.
All right, you do the
So
rope
something
thing,
I
I'll
noticed,
finish up.
and this will probably like blow Ray's mind because he works in marketing, but their branding is so on.
I know.
Like they kept the purple ropes and the purple lighting and the
It's
purple
so good.
Titantron during
Yeah.
the cruiserweight. So
Like Casey thought I was watching a different show.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of crazy because that's what they were doing. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, now you have this purple brand kind of inserted into this red brand. But to think about the logistics of this, where they have white ropes for one match, they switch to purple ropes, and then they switch to white ropes again. Now, I recently had the opportunity to set up a wrestling ring from like nothing into something, and seeing ropes get assembled is very, very intricate. So I was trying to figure out how to do this. And having not seen it live yet, they probably just tape the whole thing and then just rip the tape off.
Oh, okay.
Like they have white tape and then purple tape and white tape,
Yeah.
and in between commercial changes, they have someone come in and just turn it because they do that with the mats.
Oh, that's fun.
They've got a bunch of mats laid out, so after Kofi Kingston's bleeding all over the place, they can just roll it up, and the mat doesn't look nasty after 3 hours.
That's really smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, that was really quick. Like it just
Yeah, it's
it
like
was just
it
one
takes a
normal
long
vignette,
time.
right?
Like
So-
like getting the ropes up is fine, but adjusting them is a really intricate process, and like the refs do it.
yeah.
If you watch any of the behind the scenes stuff, anyway. And then Kyle, you had something to talk about on this.
All right. Well, one quick shout out to Corey Graves.
Yes.
I lost my mind. I also took a lot of notes this time, so like there's a lot more dumb shit that I noticed. But he says if Kendrick loses, it's more disastrous than Tom Phillips' attempt at my haircut, which
Yeah.
made me laugh.
Oh
so
yeah,
I
because
love
Tom
that.
Phillips did the
Yeah,
sides.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I read something on the internet. It was like he tried to shave his head and then trained a chicken how to sit on it.
Oh.
Like it's just so bad.
But the key big thing was a few episodes ago, a while ago, I don't know. We made the joke about the friendship, respect, handshake, hug.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so Kendrick, because the storyline was that TJP and Kendrick were buds. Like back when TJP couldn't drive, Kendrick would drive him to wrestling class.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about that storyline. So they have the friendship, respect, handshake, hug in the ring, and then add another H because Kendrick fucking headbutts him
Yeah.
and walks away.
So we have the FR Triple H.
The
Yeah.
FR Triple H. It's all
Yeah.
about the game and how you play it. So. Let's
Awesome.
move on to the Game 7, the best thing in all of sports. Match 7 in wrestling, not exactly the best thing in all of sports, but the match itself was awesome right up until it ended.
So it's funny because when they were saying, like when Foley started building this up, he was like, the winner gets a shot at a title.
They don't specify.
They don't specify. So
It's
like,
smart, because if it's bad, they just give you a US title.
yeah, if it was
Yeah.
Rusev, I was gonna be like, ah,
Again, how much did Finn Balor getting hurt fuck them over?
yeah,
This could have been for the actual main title.
could have been, yeah,
Like, I would have loved to see Finn Balor versus Cesaro.
yeah,
And I think that they were smart in not specifying so that they had the flexibility. But
Yeah.
where they're going with it and combining them as a tag team, I think is really super interesting.
yeah.
Um,
What did you guys think about like some of the matches leading up to 7? Because like I was like, these are good. They're trying to tell a story each one,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, it's solid. But then match 7 was like, what the fuck?
It was a 3-0 deficit. We have 3-1 on our
Yes,
notes.
Oh,
yeah,
You did the ultimate comeback.
yes,
Right.
So
And I think that's the problem I had with it, is because it's wrestling and you can tell how they're going to write it. When Sheamus is up 3-0,
Yeah.
you know Cesaro's going to win the next 4. Or he's going to win at least the next 3, and they're going to bring it to a 7. Because you can see how the calendar lays out. Oh, they have a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I wonder
yeah.
what's going to happen.
yeah.
well, you need to think less to enjoy things more.
I know, and that's my own fault. That's my own fault. I
Because it's like you're
understand
talking
that.
about the $3.99 thing. You're talking about this. It's like
But I'm
you
just,
talked yourself out of enjoying 2 out of 3 matches so
I'm a
far.
horrible wrestling fan. I think I
Yeah.
brought that up.
I'm
I'm
just
just
more.
not bitter like Ray.
Yeah, I'm just more tired about the wrestling, the actual wrestling that's going on though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've talked about it before. Like
To that
matches,
point, it was back and forth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially when
Some of them are
half
forgettable.
Yeah.
the matches, Cesaro was just being the guy who was hurt,
yeah.
right?
So, but this one, I was, I
Also,
actually,
Cesaro's just a way better wrestler than Sheamus. So,
Yes,
like,
I
you
agree.
needed that injury angle to, like, even it up. Because Sheamus is just going to kind of kick and punch for the most part.
yeah,
It's a big lumbering oaf.
Yeah.
it's funny because like when Cesaro is a heel, there's a lot more psychology involved, and when he's a face, he's more energetic.
Yeah.
And then literally, Sheamus fights the same way in both styles, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
I just saw your note that's fighting really hard, really, really hard for the chance to face Rusev.
Rusev.
Well, I didn't realize it wasn't
Yeah.
that they hadn't specified it. I was like,
That's okay. That's
are
still
they?
just as good.
Yeah. I also liked once they went over the barricade.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
doctors come over, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Cesaro's like, "No, let me fight. I can fight with one arm.
I've
I've done it before."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's so good." And in that moment, I didn't know if it was like they were really hurt in stopping the match, or if it was storyline.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I didn't care because
Yeah.
that match had been so good up to that point. Like, I was disappointed. I wanted to see it end.
Right.
And we'll get into it, but I like the way that they ended up dealing with the fallout on Raw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
was disappointed that it didn't end because the match was actually good. Like
Yes.
Cesaro was obviously awesome, but
Yeah.
like Sheamus was pulling out some shit. He was jumping off the top rope to the outside.
There was
like,
lots of top rope shit on both sides.
yeah, so like
And those
everybody
are
was.
big guys.
Yeah.
I wonder why they keep getting hurt.
I would agree. That, like, the series was good. The idea is awesome.
Yeah.
Because they both were floundering. This made it good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like,
this was
the
great.
crowd was really into it.
Yeah,
which
it
was
was
awesome.
It was great.
So that was super cool.
And second match on the show is a really, really hard
Hard
spot.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, third match.
We
Third
didn't-
match is really hard because by then, like, I need
Yeah.
to pee.
Yep.
So we didn't have a note originally for Zayn Jericho, so I stuffed it in there. Mostly because I heard another awesome quote from Graves. It's drink it in, Cole, you stupid idiot. Other than that match was like as good as expected to the point where it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't bad, but it was just,
Jericho's doing what he needs to do, and he's getting the younger guys over.
Yeah.
The problem I see with this
Well,
is that
he
Sami
won.
Zayn keeps losing.
Yeah. Sami Zayn is on the highway to fucking Dolph Ziggler hood.
Right. When Sami Zayn beat Kevin Owens a couple shows back, it was this huge deal because no one saw it coming. The problem is they haven't given him another win, so the crowd's kind of like
floundering.
They're floundering, and they're like they'd rather see Jericho than Sami Zayn. It's like you're
Jer-
putting him in like Neville territory.
Yeah.
Like, Neville's on fucking main event.
Yeah, and it's funny too because
Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah. But yeah,
I forgot. That's how bad it got.
yeah,
Like, I saw this shirt in my closet the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, Neville.
yeah. The funny thing with Zayn is like he, you want to build up this whole underdog from the underground, but you don't want to do it too much. Like you really, and also Jericho is like in his best form. Like
Oh no, he'll just the way he saunters he's like on point.
Yeah.
He's like MVP of the year.
Yeah,
to me
for sure.
So far.
Bailey is booked as the underdog, but Bailey still has wins.
yeah, exactly. Yes, she steals the win. You know what I mean? Like she gets the 1, 2, 3 and like unexpected.
She wins just enough that there's always a chance she's going to lose.
Yeah.
Segue into the women's title, I guess. So Bailey had 12 tube men. I had to pause, rewind, and count them again.
Awesome.
I'm like,
I almost thought she was
incredible.
gonna win just based on 2 men.
Yeah, no, there's always that like level of how many tube men does it take for Bailey to reach her final form.
I get so excited when I see tube men in real life now.
Also,
I take a picture each time and just send to Brittany. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
here's one of the
hug
wild.
like a champ.
Also, did you guys see the video for Bailey? Like the little character that
Just
she
hugging?
has? Oh my god, it's the best.
Yeah.
So
It's like hug like a champ, and champ is in giant fucking letters.
Yeah.
It's like
Subtle. Yep.
the biggest thing for me, and like, so Brittany made this note about Charlotte saving the moonsault for pay-per-views, and I just like bolded it because like that was the only thing I wrote down was just like that fucking moonsault.
It's so fun. She gets so much hype.
Yeah,
Like
and then
that's
she
the
had
thing.
both of them.
Well,
It's a
and
double team.
Yeah.
and it's like
So
she
good.
doesn't do it any other time, so it's special.
Yeah.
Like Sami Zayn dives through the ropes every single match now. I mean, like we're going back to like why is Sami Zayn suddenly not exciting? It's because there's always someone diving through ropes in every single match now. It's not this crazy thing, and it's like, oh, people get hurt on this not exciting move because you're overusing it. I've seen this before in like 3-2-1 battle where like every match someone's doing a slap. It's like, guys, this move isn't as terrifying if you do it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of think long game, and I really commend Charlotte for saving the moonsault for key matches, and it's not every pay-per-view, but it's the ones that really kind of matter, and the fact that this is Bailey, Sasha, and Charlotte, I think that's part of the reason why she did it. Also a note, the announcers mentioned that she was 12-0 on title defenses on pay-per-views after the match. Had they mentioned she was going into it 11-0, it might have been the same problem as the New Day, where I'm like, oh, well, she's probably just going to keep winning this.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, there's a problem there.
Same
They're-
problem like for you watching.
Yeah, because I'd know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
They're doing a little bit too much foreshadowing with their announcing. Like it's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's like the announcers are there to explain what's happening. They're not there to explain what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I know that wrestling fans are stupid, but pretend that they're at a circus
Yeah.
and there's some suspension of disbelief that needs to be happening.
Yeah.
If you want to see how it's done right, you tune into our next episode when we talk about the CWC.
Ooh,
And
sell
you
the
have-
products.
Oh my
you have, that awesome broadcast team because
Yeah.
Oh my
they
God.
like I sneak spoiler peek. And one of the things I'll say on that episode is that I forgot wrestling was fake because it was so interesting in those matches.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, U.S. title. Speaking of interesting and
it's
fake,
No,
My least favorite match of the night.
this
Oh,
is the
yeah.
bathroom break.
Oh my god, it was.
I like
and you
Roman
just
keeps being the bathroom break
yeah,
match.
go to the bathroom, play Pokemon. Like you're not missing shit.
I think I counted 74 clotheslines in this match.
Clothesline
and like
city.
7 spears. 1,000 of punches.
And it's
it was
funny.
a long.
And it's
match,
funny, too,
That
because-
was a long. That wasn't just pre-break. That was an everything break.
Yeah.
So
It
one
was
thing.
like, let's go to the concession stand, let's
Yeah.
drink a beer, let's go back to the concession stand.
Think
Yeah.
about buying that shirt. Don't buy it. Go back to the chair. Actually, we should buy it. Go back.
So one
Not the
thing.
wrong size, go
Yeah.
back again.
So one thing with this pay per view I noticed was that there were less matches, and so people had more time
Yeah.
on like with each of their matches.
That's
It's-
true, that's true.
And some of them were like, "Thank you for having a long match." Like
Mm-hmm.
Jericho and Sammy, great. The more
Yeah.
time to flesh out stuff, and Jericho being an asshole. This is a match which suffers from that
Mm-hmm.
because Rusev Man, that dude's got an arsenal, and he can do a bunch of different things, and he can be psychological, and he can go after the back forever and with a bunch of different things. And then Roman goes with the clothesline, and like
72 clotheslines.
yeah, it's he doesn't have an arsenal. He does the drive-by, and then he does the Superman punch and the spear, and it's like.
So I'm happy Roman is in the U.S. picture, and I mean, he has the title now.
Yeah.
Because that means he's not in the main event picture.
Correct.
So that's at least good from
Yeah.
the perspective of a fan who hates Roman. The reality is that Roman does sell merch. There are people who like him.
Yeah.
I know one of them. I don't know why she likes Roman Reigns, but whatever.
Yeah.
He's got the biggest pecs.
Yeah, he's got the wettest hair. I'm wondering if Roman could potentially be in a position where he could elevate the U.S. title again.
Hope so.
And it's like there's only 2 titles on the show outside of like the women's and the tag.
Yeah.
And one of them is clearly going to be better than the other. But the U.S. title was a huge fucking deal when Cena had it and was doing Open Challenge.
Yeah.
It was like, that was the match you wanted to watch.
Yeah.
And then Kalisto won it. It was like, okay, cool. And then Del Rio had it. And then Rusev got it. It was like, okay, well, the U.S. title is just the U.S. title again.
Again. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's potentially a possibility. I don't know.
I hope so.
That'd be nice.
The big thing that Roman needs to define his character again. Like he does. Like,
He hasn't changed characters.
Yeah.
He's still the fucking Shield.
yeah, and that's a problem because I'm gonna completely switch gears here to talk about Becky Lynch
Okay.
for just a second. She got the women's title on SmackDown, and she was a week or so ago. She gave a promo, and it was fucking amazing. Like I'm always worried about Becky about being on the mic because she's terrible at it. But
Yeah.
this one promo she did with Alexa Bliss in the ring, and she's like, "You're right. I'm not supposed to fucking be here. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be here, and I'm gonna work my ass off to make sure I'm still going to be here because it's not guaranteed." And I was like, "Good job! You just defined your character. It's like I've been given an opportunity that I don't think I deserve, but I'm gonna stay here until they fucking take it away from me." Holy shit, Roman! Like fucking watch SmackDown. Like
Yeah, Roman's basically given everything on a silver platter.
yeah,
is the
and
problem.
and there's something to that. Like use that. I'm the runt of the Inouye family. Fucking use it. Like you have to live up to The Rock.
The Usos are doing better with their character than Roman
Mhm.
is. Like, that's a clear problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go
but-
moving on.
you had the Universal title.
Yeah.
So this whole thing was kind of like, one, it was a good match.
Yeah.
2, Jericho, best friend Jericho continues to be the best.
Yeah.
Comes out, ruins the match. He has his awful scarf and a KO shirt.
It's super great because the inevitable betrayal is going to be so awesome.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I want, is that I want the Jericho-Owens feud. Like,
Survivor
heel on
Series.
heel, just, it'd be so good. I mean, they'd be doing the exact same thing, but in their own way. It'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I love that Owens has the old Raw's War logo theme
yeah.
for his
Yeah.
new shirt.
Yeah, the
It
Kevin
brings me
Owens
back.
Show.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. Just the attention to detail is so awesome. I
Mhm.
love that he's the champion.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a good time to be
It's a
wrestling fan.
really good time to watch.
He says, I am the main event. Rollins is the man. He's the mistake.
Yeah.
That promo in the middle of the pay-per-view, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. And then that kind of sets you up to think, all right, is this face turn happening,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. It definitely feels
that
like it. But
moveset and just sort of how things are,
slow.
right?
You gotta slow roll it.
Yeah,
you gotta slow
slow
roll it.
roll
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Because then it's gonna be more. You'll believe it more. You'll get behind him more because you can't forget that he was an asshole for so long. Like
Right.
you have to slow roll it.
Yeah.
Marinate.
Yeah, you gotta have that, like, stranded on a desert island, like, acceptance of him, like,
Yes.
all right, you know,
Yeah.
well, it's not so bad, and then 6 months later, well, okay, I mean, you know, this guy got
Phoenix Splash, fine.
yeah.
I guess.
So moving into Raw, like, Jericho has just been best. Like, amazing this year, right? He's
Mhm.
doing exactly what he was brought back to do.
The list of Jericho.
Yes. Oh, my god. Oh my god, I
He
love it.
put the cameraman on the list.
Yes. You're on the list.
You're on the list. Unnamed cameraman.
Right. So then you have this whole new feud where Owens broke a rib for Rollins. So Rollins out a little bit.
It looked pretty bad.
It
Like
looked
I don't.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because like it just keeps bringing like the choice one-liners, like the go redesign, rebuild, and reclaim
Give
your
your
couch.
couch. It's so
I'm
good.
like, oh my god, how is this guy so good at coming up with new content? Like he is the fucking best.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm kind of wondering when the Rollins face turn is incoming.
Yeah.
And especially kind of playing off of Kyle's like what he wants is the whole Jericho versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Like if we had a heel versus heel feud, you need to have a face in the main event.
Yes.
So it's got to be Rollins. There's really no one else on the roster that can do it.
Yep.
At this moment in time.
Yeah. I personally see at some point, like getting into Royal Rumble, we really see a face turn for Rollins, and then, man, fucking.
That'd be some pretty slow cooker in for them. But it could
I
happen.
think potentially
Because we're already in October, aren't we?
next
so,
week.
Yeah, so we're getting close.
I mean tomorrow.
Yeah, but we're
because
having
today
joint
is
pay-per-view
September.
and brand
oh,
specific
you're right. We're
pay-per-views
doing
now.
multiple pay-per-views now.
So-
Fuck. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's
There's more chances for things to happen.
Either way, I'm just happy it wasn't like an immediate like, oh cool, he turned. All right.
Yeah.
Like, it's. I mean, I'm just saying this is a guess. There was no indication that it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of this is the part of wrestling that's awesome, where you're not quite actually sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So Bayley fought a jobber,
Yeah.
which I thought was really, really smart.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got Nia Jax and Alicia Fox feuding, and then you've got 3 other women in the picture because your division is super small. It was small before, and you split it across 2 rosters. How do you keep Bayley on the show because she sells merch, people love her, but not put her in the feud with Sasha and Charlotte?
It's great because it's what they used to do in NXT, right?
Yep.
The warm-up matches before the takeovers were always like
They used to
squash
do
match,
that.
Squash match,
right?
yeah.
But it's good because it builds that person up. You know,
There's a point to it. There was always a point to
but
squash
like
matches.
there got to be a point where either they weren't doing squash matches. Like I feel like squash matches against local talent is like the safest, best way to do it
Oh, yeah.
because there's no repercussions. Whereas when you do squash match against like Bo Dallas and Dolph every time, it really sucks for those guys.
Well, and then you have
right?
the moments of like that one guy from the Braun Strowman angle
Yeah.
that ended up being like the tag partner for AJ Styles on SmackDown. Like you have
So
these
good.
little like
Yeah.
fun stories that can come out of it.
Yeah.
And you
bookends.
don't have to commit long term to it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and then those people get paid, and
Yeah.
then they move on, right?
Yep.
And then you're not shitting on your own talent, right?
Right.
That's great.
Yes.
It's awesome. Cruiserweight response. This was shitty.
Yeah.
Particularly the audience. Like they started chanting for CM Punk.
Macho Man.
They started chanting for Macho Man.
Yep.
I was having a discussion with some wrestling friends online about this, and they're like, "What the hell's going on?" And I remembered back to when the women got moved up, and the crowd was dead, and
Yeah.
the crowd didn't give a shit because, as we've established, the people that watch Raw are not necessarily the people that watch
the
NXT.
network.
Right. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
watch NXT, so they don't watch the network. They don't watch Cruiserweights because Cruiserweights is good because of the wrestling.
Yeah.
Raw is good because you're at the
Story.
fucking circus and you have a story and you're watching these people perform.
Yeah.
So not only do you not have the character development part of it nailed down yet,
Yeah.
but you also have these guys who have focused almost primarily on the wrestling when these people aren't wrestling fans, they're WWE fans.
Yeah.
So I think like the crowd was absolute shit, but I'm not concerned. I'm just kind of like wondering how long it's going to take them to really establish this division.
Yep.
Although they are getting like 2 matches per show.
Yep.
It sounds like, which is pretty great.
Yep.
I don't know. That's my rant.
So, so let's talk about like the tag team scene right now.
Mhm.
So we have the New Day, who's on day 400 and something now.
It's 400 because it's
And-
Raw.
Yeah, and now Gallows has beaten, like, lost to the New Day a number of times now, and they lost.
This is the time I expected them to win the
Yeah,
title.
that's what it I.
Yeah.
So, and now you have this formation of Sheamus and Cesaro, which I think is good because here's what's going to happen. Here's what I see going to happen. They're going to be the ones that beat the New Day because if they don't beat the New Day, they'll just split them up. The whole point is they're going to be stuck together. They have to be together. Like, they don't want to be a team together. This is what they did with Daniel Bryan and Kane.
I was just about to say that, and
Yeah.
that was brilliant.
Yeah.
That was some of my favorite Daniel Bryan.
So, yeah.
People know.
Well, I'm just like sitting here, kind of seeing you two agree, and it's weird.
I know, we were chatting earlier, and I'm like, wait, we agree? Like,
Yeah.
Sheamus and Cesaro was the best match. Who
It's-
are we?
It's been a weird week. No, but I mean, like, I think there are some fun things that you can do with Sheamus. There are some things that, like, they both have a problem with charisma. They don't actually have it. They fake the funk as much as they can. Like, Cesaro, like, the suit thing and, like, you know, some of those things, like, they...
A side note, I love that he came out in the white suit for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's super James Bond.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I'm like, I want to see Sheamus in a tearaway, like, suit.
Tearaway suit.
Yeah. Like,
All right, that I would be down for.
yeah, like
If Sheamus
there's
just basically did the same exact thing as Cesaro, except it was goofier and just bigger. That would be
Just-
funny.
it basically like if their gimmick was they're trying to figure out their gimmick and like Cesaro coming
So
out.
you're basically talking about like
Yeah.
Golden Truth with an accent.
Yeah,
at this point.
yes. Why not? Like, fuck it. Like,
Or how about they dress up like twins? Like that would
yeah.
be good. Like I'm talking about like twins
Arnold
like Danny
Schwarzenegger.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito,
Yes.
yeah. But like, why not? Like, have
mean,
fun with it.
I really liked Cesaro when he was in a tag team with Tyson Kidd. He
He's
was
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Like, and on top of that, like, he doesn't get hurt all the time because he's not the only guy in the ring. So maybe this will be a good.
And
good
some
rest
people,
for him.
like need to be sat down and be like, you're not a good singles competitor, and like I think that might be Sheamus. Because
I was like,
No,
they're not
no,
gonna
no,
say
He was
Cesaro.
like
I was
pre
gonna-
getting the
no,
nights
no,
out.
no, no, no.
for
I saw the hair saying no.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean. But like Jason Jordan,
Mhm.
like man, it was rough watching him in a
He's
singles
still
career.
like 3 years in NXT going nowhere.
Yeah, but like his matches weren't really great. Like they weren't.
He needed someone else to elevate him.
Yeah, and so this might be Cesaro or not Cesaro. Sheamus.
Yeah. All
I
right.
think we have time for that quick.
We have small, quick note about Talking Smack.
Mhm.
So I still haven't really dove into SmackDown. I want to. Everyone's telling me it's better than Raw, and I'm like, oh man, better than Raw in one less hour. This would be great. But I love Charlotte and I love cruiserweights.
Mhm.
Anyway, Talking Smack is very, very good at progressing storylines.
Yes.
So I didn't watch SmackDown, but I watched the most recent clip of Talking Smack, where Cena basically is building up his feud between AJ and Dean Ambrose, particularly Dean Ambrose, because he calls out Cena as like he doesn't dress with the rest of the guys, blah blah blah, and he has this line about how like Ambrose says we don't like each other. Nah, Ambrose doesn't like John Cena. John Cena doesn't care about Dean Ambrose, and I'm like,
Ooh, yeah.
I love that, and like we had the clip we linked a couple episodes ago
Yeah.
With The
from
Miz.
with
Yeah.
the Miz and Daniel Bryan.
like, and Talking Smack is the last week tonight of WWE, where I only watch a small clip that's posted in my Facebook feed,
Mhm.
but it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if that's the thing that's going to get me to watch SmackDown, I'm totally fine with it.
And it's cool
well,
because
actually, if it's the thing I could just watch instead of SmackDown, that's also
That's
fine.
even better.
Yeah.
Because it's on the network.
yeah, I think it's a really good way of like, hey, like we're not worried about what you're saying as far as like, because I mean like Daniel Bryan calling out the Universal title, like WWE doesn't want him saying that, like saying
No.
like making fun of like the title.
But if you take them off the air, put them on the network on a show that's not going to be as regulated as something that has a TV contract.
Then it's nice.
Also, you can focus primarily on story because you only have so much time on SmackDown.
Yep.
You don't have to actually have wrestling. You can just have people on microphones.
When you do watch SmackDown
Really
or
smart
a
idea.
SmackDown pay-per-view, you do get the awesome pleasure of hearing JBL every 5 minutes say this is the premier product and the best show and all that shit, which makes me laugh and reminds me that they think it's a competition.
Yeah.
Like, oh, right, yeah.
SmackDown thinks it's a competition.
Yeah. So good.
Stephanie's just sitting on Raw like, you fucking serious,
It's
guys?
like, yeah, it's a rivalry for you guys. It's like the same thing Cena said.
All right,
Yeah.
bring us out, Kyle.
Okay. That'll wrap it up for this week. If you
So
like the
much.
podcast, you can find us on Twitter at OnTheHeelsWP and on Facebook.com/OnTheHeelsWP. You can find our podcast fucking everywhere. That is
Everywhere.
good. All the places.
Yeah.
Specifically iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
So
Yeah.
subscribe to the podcast, leave comments, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, and of course, tell your wrestling buddies about the podcast. Message us, tweet us, yell at us when you see us at local wrestling shows. Tell us random wrestling stuff. We clearly like talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to On the Hills Wrestling Podcast. Tune into our next episode where we're going to cover the CWC,
Yeah.
the Cruiserweight Classic Tournament. And now that we have a couple weeks to actually digest all of the crazy shit that happened,
The
it was
inaugural CWC.
yeah. Oh man,
Season 1 is what it says in the network. So
Oh, does it?
yeah.
Oh my god! So that makes me happy.
Yes!
And then after all of that, we'll ask ourselves the eternal question: when will the WWE shop start selling Cesaro themed Kinesio
You made this
tape?
a tongue twister for
I
Ray.
did.
It is. It is.
Well, because I kept noticing that Cesaro just kept getting more and more tape on his body. And they have like little logos on them and stuff. I'm like, I just want to see like Swiss Superman like up and
Yeah.
down his arms.
At least a little band-aids. Like,
Yeah.
you
And I
know.
figure if they sell it, Ray can figure out how to say it. So